Hello, my name is Carol May Whittick, spiritual life coach and your host of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations. This week the topic is pain. Is there a purpose to pain? Must we endure pain? And how do we move past pain? From C.S. Lewis, pain insists upon being attended to, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. From C.S. Lewis, mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain, but it is more common and more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. It's easier to say, my tooth is aching, than to say, my heart is broken. So what is pain? Pain is discomfort. Pain is not feeling happy. Pain is not feeling good. Everything that we consider to be easy and simple in our lives seems to go away, and everything seems burdensome. We experience despondency. Nothing seems to be going right. I'm talking from a view of emotional pain. But I think with pain, that pain has deep meaning and a huge opportunity for growth in our experience. And there is a purpose to pain, and there's so much that we can learn, so many insights we can gain when we start to examine why pain is brought into our life. And looking at pain and thinking, is pain ever good? And if we must endure pain, how can we be ready for that pain? And why do we come from the point of view that life should just be easy and happy and there should be never any challenges from day to day? Because surely if we just have that sort of experience, no growth can ever come from that. And also when we're going through a situation where we're feeling pain, our own pain is always going to feel the most extreme, we feel like we're going through the most suffering, that nobody else can understand us. And I personally often wonder whether pain is relative. You know, you look at other people and you think that some people seem to just go from situation to situation, rarely being able to take a breath and bring their head above water and just experience some lightness and some joy in their life. And then other people just seem to float through life. And then when they get faced with something that is challenging to them or is not floating on a cloud, their response to that and their ability to actually move through that doesn't seem to be as they don't seem to be able to cope with it as much as somebody who endures an ongoing series of challenges in their life. So it seems that the invitation or the experience of pain in our lives actually builds a muscle, builds a resilience, and builds a perspective, especially if we're managing to move in and out of challenges, that we then understand that nothing is forever, even if you're one of those people who, quote unquote, unfortunately seems to go through challenges all the time. But by being able to move through these things, you build a resilience, which means that you're able to gauge the severity of the situation that you're going through at any point. And we can't avoid pain no matter what we do. In fact, it seems that the more that we will go to it, the more lengths that we go to avoid pain will actually invite some sort of pain to us. It's almost like we're kind of banking up the inevitable. And by trying to avoid pain, we're just delaying that experience down the line. And as I mentioned before, people who would have more challenges at the beginning of their life then seem to manage to rest in a different experience as they get older, almost an ease. And whether it's an ease because they have reached a point where they've overcome everything that life was going to throw at them, or they're just better at managing the challenges that most people will face later on in life, having not gone through anything. And when we're going through pain, the easiest way to experience pain or to acknowledge pain is to actually sit with it and allow the pain to move through us. Any attempts that we make to avoid it, especially in this day and age, if we kind of turn to social media, to shopping, to watching television, to food, to sex, to spending, any of those things that we do to avoid dealing with the inevitability and the reality of what we're going through, the lesson that our soul is trying to show us. If we're using avoidant mechanisms like the ones I've mentioned before, and also alcohol is one I didn't mention, what it then seems to create is to create an issue within itself, especially if we go to excess with these things, trying to avoid the pain in itself. For example, drinking to excess then creates its own problems and still doesn't bring us to the place of actually staring face to face and confronting the pain or the purpose or the reason or the symptom of our pain. When we're faced with pain, if we can work out what it is that we're feeling, why it is the symptom of what we're going through, and deal with the root cause as opposed to trying to mask the symptoms, then we can find that we can move through these things in a speedier way, or learn from the lesson in a speedier way and alleviate the pain, or be able to live with the discomfort of whatever it's showing us at that point in time. So the lessons in pain, what can we learn from pain? What can pain teach us? How can pain change us? Well, anyone who's been through anything challenging knows that on the other side of that is their own growth and their own transformation. And going through any painful period will put us front and center and give us the opportunity to examine our lives, our beliefs, our behaviors. We're then forced to, I believe, actually reflect on our lives and take a look at what's happening, to go into some level of deep introspection and try and really understand ourselves on a deeper level, and then have a clearer and better understanding of the world. And also through challenges and pains that we go through, also offers people the opportunity to deepen their own spiritual development and evolution, and want to be more of themselves. Pain also gives us the opportunity in understanding how we've been through, to then have more compassion, and then to have also more empathy for other people. We can then see through our own eyes and reflect on our own experiences and understand when other people are going through challenges. And even if our challenges don't mirror theirs exactly, we have that heartfelt understanding that just going through something that people may not understand, that in itself is just having a caring eye and knowing that people go through challenging things and need softness and understanding. And in that, we also then start to see how we are connected to each other by that shared human experience. There's so much division and separation in this world. It's always getting pushed for us to look and recognize and try and really highlight the differences that we have within each other. These differences are, for the most part, solely external. They don't actually mean anything at the core of the being of who we are. And if we then allow ourselves to see the similarities and understand that suffering and human suffering is a universal cross-race thing, we can actually start to reach into the hearts of other people and connect on that level. Because at this point in time, and I'll say continuously, this is really what the world is in need of. In pain, in difficult times as well, it then allows us to accept the pain instead of fighting the pain, just falling into the pain, surrendering into the pain, and appreciating that we're going through a time of change, of growth. Maybe we're going through a time of loss, and really having to just feel on the deepest of levels, on our soul level, on our spirit level, exactly what that means to us. And the pain is usually what happens when we're going through a shift, when we're going through a transformation, and we don't want to experience that discomfort, which is why we hold on for so long. But even then, there comes a point where holding on becomes too painful and we have to let go. So the sooner we allow ourselves to shift and accept the pain and surrender to the pain. And in our pain as well, our faith really gets tested. Wherever your spiritual beliefs are, whatever you're using for your connection and guidance, when you are going through challenges and pain within your physical life and your physical experience, there is the golden opportunity for you to really fall into the arms or the understanding of the divine, the connection that you feel that you need to give you strength and to give you succor to go through. And I realize a lot of the time that pain is often the time when people will challenge the existence of any such being, the universe, God, creator, divine, any of those things, because you'd be, if someone was so loving and benevolent towards me, why would they see me go through this? But it's understanding that it's through those lessons, it's through those pains that we grow, that you appreciate, that you never get given more than you can handle. There's that saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And why we don't want to be pushed to the brink of our existence, often we are. And it's by getting to that brink and then feeling a guidance or a release of the pain and moving back into our existence with a deeper appreciation and a wider understanding. We really understand then how that we couldn't have made it through. There's so many songs that I can think of that I really lent on when I've been through challenging times. One of the most famous ones is Never Could Have Made It. And it's talking about someone's relationship with God, but you can talk about it with your relationship with anything, whatever it was that you reached out for at that moment of despair, at that moment when the pain just became unbearable. In the times when that moment becomes more of a distant memory and you start to move into wellness and health and clarity and into the next stage of your life, those moments you never forget. Those moments actually give you a deeper sense of gratitude in your life, the fact that you are moving forward, but also you remember what it was like to be on the precipice of your own existence, whether that's spiritually or mentally or physically, and then feeling that there was something to actually turn around and live for. That knowing, that experience stays with you and enriches your life on a deeper level. And again, I'm speaking from experience, knowing that there have been moments where things have just looked so completely bleak, and yet here I am. And also when it comes to going through pain and experiencing pain, you don't always have to do these things alone. It's finding somebody that you can work with, and that can be anyone, somebody that you know is safe, somebody that you know that you can really trust, and they can be a practitioner of any description. Sometimes we go to coaches, doctors, holistic practitioners of many different modalities, or it may be a friend or a spouse or someone that you really feel has got the capacity to allow you to go to the spaces and the depths and really go where you need to go. Because when you're going through pain, a lot of the time, to people who are not strong enough to help and support and contain you, that disappointment can be equally, if not more so, damaging, traumatic to yourself. So choose wisely. If you do choose to do practices and start to heal on your own, just some thoughts and things to consider on that. Do your best to be present in the pain. Again, we don't want to suppress the pain. We don't want to push it to one side. Food, sex, shopping, scrolling, alcohol. Allow yourself to feel the pain, because if we're holding on to it and we manage to kind of suppress it within our body, those things have a habit of recurring and coming up again and again and again. And, often people will talk about blocks that they have. A lot of the time, your blocks are your suppressed emotions, suppressed pain that you've not worked through. And pain also can transmute itself into physical issues and disease and illnesses. So to really work through that pain and to allow it to move through you is to allow yourself the best opportunity to learn from that and move, and not have any kind of echo or recurring element of that come and revisit you in the future. And ask questions. What is this pain showing me? What is the truth of this pain? What is this supposed to mean? What am I seeing? Go into deep inquiry about what it is. And you will be surprised that a lot of the time when you're asking the questions, when you're opening into the question, the answers do come. I know it's very easy when things are hard and when you are in pain to want to know why me. And it just depends on how you ask that question. It's why me from a point of why is this at my doorstep? What am I to learn? As opposed to woe is me and why me and I don't deserve this. It's not to say that anyone deserves to go through any difficulty, but things are visited upon us for a reason, and there's a lesson there for you. Meditation is another way of really just allowing yourself to try and understand where you are with your pain. Meditation, contemplation, mindfulness, prayer, all of these things will help you work through what you're going through. And if you want to make a note of what comes up for you, use your journal, share, talk, find other people that you can speak to that are open to hear you. And again, as I say, choose wisely, because in times like this, when we have a lot going on, we can become super repetitive. And we need somebody who's strong enough to allow us to go around the houses until we come out the other side. And remember, after every instance of pain, we're always stronger after the pain. That pain will teach us something, and we will remember that journey, the people who helped us, the people who didn't help us. Our lives will be transformed because we will move things in a different way. We will see people in a different light. Often it's the people that we least expect to help us that actually come forward and do so. And the phrases of turning your mess into your message, turning your pain into your purpose, turn that experience that you've experienced into your expertise. We're all here to assist each other. So whatever you're learning, whatever you're going through, it's something that's here to create the better version of yourself. And as you move forward, you'll be able to help others. From Rumi, the cure for the pain is the pain. These pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them. Thank you for joining me again on another episode of Higher Energetic Resonance Inspirations and my delving into the subject of pain. If you want to find out more about me, go to my website. That's carolmaywhittick.com, carolmaywhittick.com. Check the link in the show notes for the Embody Higher Energetic Resonance, Embody Her journey. 3 steps closer to being the woman of your dreams. It's completely free for you to join. Also, if you're interested in working one-on-one with me through the spiritual life coaching, check the link in the show notes. On social media, you can find me, Carol May Whittick, on Facebook, and Kazmic, Kazmick, on Instagram. So until the next episode, enjoy your week. Take care.